What's up guys, my name is Nimbus and this is Nimbus's Library, and today we are going to talk about the most important game in video game industry, which is the first Super Mario Bros. Game for the NES. Now why is this game so important? Because without this game, video games as we know it would have not existed. Okay, now this game came out in 1985 for the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System as we all know it, the gray box. Now why is this game so important? This game is so important because after the video game industry crash in the early 80s with the first Atari console, when the Atari ruined everything, okay, because people were making games non-stop for the Atari and no one really cared because the games were absolute garbage, okay? Now, Nintendo wanted to bring their video game console from Japan here to the US in the early 80s because the first NES was actually not called the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was called Nintendo Famicom, which was short for the family computer. Now, Nintendo had a problem. They wanted to bring it to the United States. Now, why couldn't they? Because no one at this point in time was interested in video games. No marketing system wanted to deal with it. All the major big brand store companies did not want to hear about video games because of Atari. So what did Nintendo do? Nintendo sold the NES as if it was a toy. That's why they sold it with Rob the Robot. So it was, they changed the whole aspect of the Nintendo. They changed the way it looked from somewhat of a beige red color to what we know now, which is this. And it was like a gray and black. It almost looked like a VCR. Now, why did they do that? Because once again, they wanted to promote it as if it was a toy. You know, it looked like it was gonna be simple, you just put it in and it looked like it blended in with what you had on the TV back in the day. So where does this game come from? Even though this isn't Mario's first appearance, because we've played and seen the Donkey Kong arcade game back in the day before this game came out, this is the first standalone game that came out for the NES, and everyone knows this game. This game has one of the most iconic songs in video game industry, okay? Everyone knows it. I think you could just think about it and you know what song I'm talking about. Everyone knows that song, and everyone knows, even if you don't know where that came from, you know it. And this is where it's from. Now, why was this game was such a phenomenon? Why? It had 8 levels, which was unheard of at the time. Usually Atari, when they brought out their games, you had 4, maybe 5 levels max. And it was basically the same thing over and over and over in the sense of the way Atari games were made. But this was different. This had desert stage, this had a water stage, this had castle, you were in a castle, you know, you had special different kind of enemies. You had the Goombas, you had the Koopas, you had a whole bunch of different type of enemies, which was, you didn't really see at that time in the video game industry. You had a main villain, which was Bowser, or in that time, in this era, he was called King Koopa, okay? So the game sprouted so many other Mario games, but everyone knows that this is the most iconic Mario game of all time, okay? And it's a game that was probably gonna live on even before me. We're talking about generations down the line. My kids are probably gonna know about this game because how iconic it is. Now, growing up, I played this game a ton, okay? Now, when I first was like 5, maybe, I think I was about like 5, when I first touched the NES, this was the first game I ever played, and I played it to death, okay? And there's tons of secrets within this game, which they didn't have back in the day. And that was one of the reasons why this game became so popular, because Atari wasn't really doing any of this, okay? So what Nintendo accomplished with this game, with putting in secrets and hidden things within it, just like when you would try to get 100 lives and you would hit and land on the Koopa and you just stood there and just collected a whole bunch of coins until you got 1-ups, and you just kept getting 1-ups and you got to 99 lives, it's the same thing. Now, another trick that was in this game was if you got in the second level, when you were underneath the underground and you went towards the end and you were able to go over the pipe, there was Warp Zone, which was 8, 7, and 6. I'm not sure if it's that. I know it ended with 8. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments. But you were able to literally skip all the way to the 8th level. And the crazy part of that is that there was no internet back then. Okay? So if you heard like little rumors in your playground. Oh, you heard this in Super Mario Brothers? Da. Oh, you gotta try that. And some were true, some were fake. But that didn't stop us from trying back in the day, because there was no way to confirm unless you just did it. Or you went to your friend's house and you saw them do it. Okay, there's tons of tricks. If you guys know what tricks, and if I'm not saying a trick that you guys know, let me know down in the comments. If there is one there, I'll try it out myself, or I'll look it up to see if it's true. But let me know down in the comments. I'm pretty sure there's tons of them. Okay, now one of the precious memories I have of playing this game as a kid was when I found my first NES. It didn't belong to me, it actually belonged to my father, and my father actually brought it down from the closet, and I played this game for the first time. And ever since then, it was always me and my father or my brother playing this game non-stop. He knew things that I didn't know, or we figured stuff out that he looked at us like if we were crazy, like, oh, how did you guys figure that out? So I'm pretty sure there's a ton of memories that you guys have with this game, because this game is so iconic. Please, if you guys have memories of playing this game with your brother, with any type of family member, please let me know down in the comments down below. I would love to hear them in the comments, okay? I love hearing childhood memories of video games that you have playing with your families, with your cousins, with your whatever you used to play with, you know, playing by yourself, playing with your, you know, whoever you played with, okay? Please let me know down in the comments. I would love to read that. Okay, once again, my name is Nimbus, and this has been Nimbus's Library. Thank you for stopping by. As always, don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, and as always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys later.